All right, let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously, now a little bit removed from that Jacksonville Jaguars victory. Obviously, a big road victory, a little bit ugly at times, but a win's a win against a quality opponent. So you'll always take that. But the Chiefs made a really smart move recently. In fact, just a few hours ago, that I think is one of those things that's why the Chiefs will be set up for success, not just in the short term, week to week, but in the long term as well.
Yeah, Nick, this definitely is a big attribution to their long term success. I think this is going to be huge for the Chiefs going forward. But talking about this week's win, we're going into next week, hoping for another big win for the Chiefs. You're going to be facing the Chicago Bears. So, Chiefs fans in the comment section below today, we want to know, what are your predictions as the Chiefs start ramping up? Everyone is back. Kelsey's back. Chris Jones is back. Mahomes getting into rhythm, getting a midseason form here in a few games. What is your prediction for the score versus the Chicago Bears? Let us know in the comment section below. But Nick, let's get on into it. What is the latest big move the Chiefs have made?
Yeah, so one of the reasons that teams, when they get to the mountaintop and they stay on the mountaintop, they are often proactive, not reactive. And of course, this entire offseason, we've seen a number of quarterbacks get massive deals. Obviously, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, you go down the list. A lot of quarterbacks have reset the market. The Chiefs obviously have the best quarterback in football right now in Patrick Mahomes, and they have made a massive move to help support Mahomes in terms of the dollars to Patrick Mahomes. Let's go ahead and throw up the report from CBS Sports. I'll read from the report. Then we'll go in a deeper dive in what this means and why it was smart from Kansas City. Again, this is from CBS Sports. Mahomes and the Chiefs have agreed to a restructure contract that will pay him $210.6 million between the 2023 season and the 2026 season, according to ESPN. That's the most money in NFL history given to a player over a 4-year span, and his compensation over that stretch is guaranteed. Kansas City reportedly plans to revisit Mahomes' contract again following the 2026 season. Mahomes signed a 10-year contract with the Chiefs worth up to $503 million. Mahomes' deal from an average annual salary, $45 million standpoint, ended up ranking 8th among quarterbacks following Joe Burrow's contract extension, which was $55 million annual average value. Under this restructure, the 28-year-old is looking at a fully guaranteed annual average value of $52.65 million, which would rank him second among quarterbacks and just above Chargers' Justin Herbert. All right, why this is smart? There's really two factors that go into this. The first thing they did is they said they didn't want to avoid an issue with Patrick Mahomes, probably this offseason, maybe the next offseason, getting a little uncomfortable with the fact that there would be 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 9 quarterbacks ahead of him in terms of annual average compensation, certainly over guaranteed money. That would cause an issue that the Chiefs would have to divert valuable front office resources to restructuring Mahomes' deal in the offseason, right? So you never want to, especially in the offseason when you're trying to make trades, scout players, figure out new additions, see who you're going to cut, things like that. You always want to make sure you have all resources full speed ahead for that. Getting this deal not done now by the front office is a great job by Veach and company. Again, being proactive instead of reactive. But here's the part that I think is really smart, is they made it all guaranteed. And according to multiple reports, there is no new money in this contract extension. They're not giving Mahomes any additional dollars. So in terms of long-term cap hit against the Chiefs and long-term dollars against Kansas City, there's no change. They just guaranteed it and gave it more upfront, a lot more structure, similar to a lot more modern quarterback deals. What does that allow the Chiefs to do? Here's the brilliant part about it. When you have all this guaranteed money, you can throw void years on the back end of deals. We saw this done with Drew Brees a lot. We saw this done with Aaron Rodgers a lot, which basically gives you cap relief and spreads out the salary cap hit over more and more years. And the player, in this case, Mahomes, would be perfectly okay with that because it's all cash that he's already gotten, right? So this is just a restructuring of cash flow to make Patrick Mahomes happy, while also giving the Chiefs opportunity to be really creative with the salary cap structure later years as they try and keep a contender together. So again, this is just a perfect example. Number one, being proactive instead of reactive to a changing quarterback market. And two, making a move that makes your player happy, which is important, but also you're giving yourself a lot of flexibility for restructuring just to make the accounting in terms of the salary cap make a lot of sense in the future to help you make other moves. Overall, another smart move by Brett Veach of the Chiefs. And it just shows, once again, we're focused on the day-to-day, the week-to-week right now in the NFL season, but long-term success is really defined by moves like these.
Yeah, Nick, I think this is where Veach and Co. really make their money doing things like this. This is how the Chiefs are going to stay on top. I love they're able to do this, like you said, and make it all guaranteed. That's going to be huge for them going forward with the ability to spread that out and make it a little bit more ability for the Chiefs to get weapons to surround Mahomes, keep that team all together. I think this is a really smart move going forward. But I can see this is just genius because they get in front of stuff. It's like the Nick Saban deal at Alabama, where every couple of years, some coaches creep in, they get start getting paid more than Nick Saban, and Alabama goes, "Hey, listen, we know Nick Saban, you're the greatest, you're the best, you've done so much for this program. We're gonna just keep bumping you back up every few years when people get in front of you, just to let them know how much they appreciate him." And that's basically what the Chiefs are doing here, because there's no, he's going to be one of the highest paid quarterbacks for forever. Patrick Mahomes is a phenomenal talent, probably one of, if not the greatest quarterbacks of all time when it's all said and done. We're just going to see how everything lays down at the end of the days. But I think he has a pretty good argument to potentially, if his career is on the same trajectory as it is now, he'll be pretty darn close to that when it's all said and done. But I think this is great by the Chiefs, just showing like, hey, we recognize what we have with you. We know how everything's going to be. So, okay, we got you the huge record-breaking 10-year, $500 million deal. Once that's lost its luster, once some people start coming ahead of you, okay, bump you up, little cash infusion right here, right now, bump your average salary up a little bit. And then they say, hey, we'll leave the door open. 2026 rolls around 3 more years from now. We're probably going to restructure it again then as well. I think this is just like you said, this is where the front offices make their money. This is where the best teams in the league do their damage underneath the radar during the season. No eyes are on them. They're able to get these deals knocked out. And this is why the Chiefs are so good.
And I just want to provide a little bit more context here and why this deal makes a lot of sense. And you brought up a great point, the fact they said, hey, listen, we're going to restructure in 2026, 3 years from now, or renegotiate or whatever they're going to do. So even Patrick Mahomes, hey, don't worry about it. 3 years from now, we'll figure it out. Well, if you look at how fast the quarterback market continues to ramp up, Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills in 2021 signed his mega deal at the time that was among, I think, the second highest quarterback deal at the time. 2 years later, right, in 2021, Josh Allen signed his deal. It's now 2023. 2 years later, Josh Allen has the 9th most expensive quarterback deal. So he went from top 2 to number 9 in 2 years. That means in 2025 and 2026, Patrick Mahomes will potentially not just be the number, right now he's the number 2 guy. He could be the number 6 guy, the number 7 guy, 8 guy, 9, 10 guy, which means in those out years, 2025, 2026, they will be getting Patrick Mahomes at a massive bargain because he obviously should be probably number 1, no lower than number 2. So that means, once again, you're making your quarterback happy, right? Because you basically just handed him a check for $200 million. Of course, I mean, good God, who wouldn't be happy with that? But you also are setting yourself up to be flexible, like I talked about, and also have a deal on that guy in the 2026 season. So obviously they're set up to win now, 2023. They set themselves up to win in 2025 and 2026 because Mahomes will be on a discount. And because of the flexibility of the contract, they can also make some moves in 2027 and 2028. So basically, Chiefs fans, look, don't get tired of going to AFC Championship games. Don't get tired of going to Super Bowls. Because when you have Mahomes, when you have Andy Reid, and when you have a great front office like this, you're always going to be competing for that kind of competition or that kind of success.